we're not ordering you to do it. We're not telling you need to kill your children, much like China, but we're impressing upon you that it would be better if you did. And so it's almost as if their hands are clean today, but we'll talk about that more. That's going to change. And I'm sorry, I have a hard time with talking about that. This is the part that I don't like, and I'm sure many will. This is the part that I get choked up on. So sorry. The midwife said to Pharaoh, because the Hebrew women are not as the Egyptian women, for they are vigorous to give birth before the midwife can get to them. So God was good to the midwives. And the people multiplied and became very mighty, because the midwives feared God. He established households for them. Then Pharaoh commanded all his people, saying, every son who is born you are to cast into the Nile, and every daughter you are to keep alive. So we gotta breed them out. We gotta lessen. We gotta thin the herd, so to speak. We got a good thing going. We want to keep it going, but we can't have them rise up against us. That would be bad. We it's diabolical, but here it is. Nonetheless, I love that God just tells you like it is. So now, a man from the house of Levi went and married a daughter of Levi. The woman conceived and bore a son, and when she saw that he was beautiful, she hid him for 3 months. But when she could hide him no longer, she got him a wicker basket and covered it over with tar and pitch. Then she put the child into it and set it among the reeds of the bank of the Nile. His sister stood at a distance to find out what would happen to him. The daughter of Pharaoh came down to bathe at the Nile, and her maidens walking alongside the Nile, and she saw the basket among the reeds and sent her maid, and she brought it to her. Sorry, I can't read this morning. When she opened it, she saw the child, and behold, the boy was crying, and she had pity. She had pity on him and said, this is one of the Hebrews' children. Then his sister said to Pharaoh's daughter, shall I go and call a nurse from the Hebrew women, that may nurse this child for you? Pharaoh's daughter said to her, go ahead. So the girl went and called the child's mother. The Pharaoh's daughter said to her, take this child away and nurse him for me, and I will give you your wages. So the woman took the child and nursed him. The child grew, and she brought him to Pharaoh's daughter, and he became her son, Pharaoh's daughter. And she named him Moses, and said, because I drew him out of the water. Let's see. Then we kind of have a turn of events here. So Moses grows up. Now we need to pay attention to his name, because this is everything. And I'm going to jump around just a little bit here, and we're going to come back to some of these things. This is going to be a series, and it'll all make sense. I'm hoping all the puzzle pieces as we go through this, we'll start laying this down. But I was really, how do I lay this foundation? And like I said, I get excited, especially about Moses, because this is such a relief to me when I when I think about this particular group that he represents, this is such a relief to me. And I hope I explained it, that this is a relief to you as we go forth, that this plan that we're carrying out, that's being carried out right now in real time, this is exactly, I know the plan, because he's telling you right here what he's going to do. And it's comforting. Your rod and your staff are a comfort to me. Yes. Yes, they are. Extremely. You have no idea what a comfort this is going to be going forth, because I have so many questions, and we'll talk about this as we go forth. But there's so many things that pop up that you should, as you're reading, should give you anxiety of like, why, and what are you going to do about that? That's not right. What's your plan? He should have those moments as you're reading the Bible of like, hey, where are you going with this, God? This is. Okay. I see it. I see what you're going to do. That's awesome. And this is awesome. This is so cool. This is, it's so good. It's so good. So Moses, fast forward just a little bit. He witnesses a fight, of course. I want you to read this on your own. We'll come back, but he witnesses a fight between, as the labor intensifies, there's a crying out from the children of Israel to God, and we'll get to that in Exodus 3 here. But nonetheless, Moses witnesses a fight between one of the Egyptians and one of the Israelites, or the Hebrews, and steps in. We kind of see where he kind of has an anger problem, and he ends up killing the Egyptian, and then covers his body in the sand. Time goes by, not whether I don't remember if it says the next day or not, but anyways, he witnesses a fight between, 2:14, but he said, who made you a prince? This is very interesting. Who made you a prince or a judge over us? Now that's pretty awesome right there. Are you intending to kill me as you killed the Egyptian? Then Moses was afraid and said, surely the matter has become known. See, he comes into this other fight between two Hebrews. He's like, what are you guys doing? And steps in, and it's revealed that it's known. It's known that he killed an Egyptian. So when Pharaoh hears of this matter, he tried to kill Moses, but Moses fled from the presence of Pharaoh and settled in the land of Midian and sat down by a well. Now, this is where he meets 7 daughters. He draws the water for them and for their flock. Gets married, kind of having this new life of his own. And we see God steps into that, and basically, let's see, do I want to do that or not? Let's because I want this to see. Yeah, let's go here. Now it came. Let's see. I'm going to go to Exodus 2:23. Now it came about in the course of those many days that the king of Egypt died, and the sons of Israel sighed because of the bondage, and they cried out. And their cry for help because of their bondage rose up to God. So God heard their groaning, and God remembered his covenant with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Then God saw the sons of Israel, and God took notice of them. Okay, so this is where things kick off here. This is where, because of their cry, this is where God is like, all right, I've had enough. You're slaughtering the firstborn. You are, after my hands have finished, you have cut them down, and even maybe even before that. But you have the slaughter of the innocents here, and then you have this crying out of these individuals. So let's take a leap over here to the book of Revelation, and I want to show you something here of a crying out, and you're going to see two different groups, two different people, but nonetheless, these are the two sticks that will be a comfort. So let's cruise over. Okay, Revelation 6. Oh, let's start with 6:9. Revelation 6:9. When the Lamb broke the fifth seal, I saw underneath the altar the souls of those who had been slain because of the word of God and because of the testimony which they had maintained. And they cried out with a loud voice, saying, How long, O Lord, holy and true, will you refrain from judging and avenging our blood on those who dwell on the earth? And there was given to each of them a white robe, and they were told they should rest for a little while longer until the number of their fellow servants and their brethren who were to be killed, even as they had been killed, would be completed also. So that's a lot to unpack. Let's just stay with what we're looking at right now. We'll get to 6:9 and 6:11, but let's focus in. Let's zoom in on 6:10. And they cried out with a loud voice, saying, How long, O Lord, holy and true, will you refrain from judging and avenging? So you hear this cry. Let's go back to Exodus here. Same thing. So Exodus 2, like I just read, 2:23. Now it came in the course of those many days that the king of Egypt died, and the sons of Israel sighed because of the bondage and cried out. And their cry for help because of their bondage rose up to God. So God heard their groaning, and God remembered his covenant with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. God saw the sons of Israel, and God took notice of them. Now, there is a stark contrast between these two because, well, I think I'll save that for the next show, but there is a stark contrast, and we'll get into that, and that's a whole nother thing. I'm going to try and stick with Moses. I told you I jump around. I apologize. So we'll stick with what we got going on here, but so Moses basically gets commissioned to go in, and gosh, we could spend so much time with the burning bush. That's pretty amazing, especially turn aside. Basically, he sees the burning bush. Do not come near. Remove your sandals from your feet, for the place in which you are standing is holy ground. And God starts having this conversation with him. 3:7, the Lord said, I have surely seen the affliction of my people who are in Egypt, and have given heed to their cry because of their taskmasters, for I am aware of their sufferings. So I have come down to deliver them from the power of the Egyptians, and to bring them up from that land to a good and spacious land, a land flowing with milk and honey, to the place